like, oh man, I want this thing. And then I opened the pack up, I got that thing.
What's the word?
I got it.
Are you can't yourself?
Oh! He's going with it.
Nice competition. That's what it's just
Tiny boy, also
not damn it.
I'm going to try and smash out of the set. Use that fix and then I can stick down with it. Oh, it's a business line. Well, I guess it's not like a VM where I'm going to be like, I have to like proper worry about it. The first lot of assessments didn't have any VMs.
You know, the only just GM concept. The only just
Hold on, so funny. Not so bad. I nearly blew my tongue off.
Wait, what do you mean?
She's like, oh yeah, do you know this woman in Upper Management? I'm like, oh, she's the one with back tattoos. And she's like,
Wrong.
I'm like,
No, wait, this
oh,
is this.
no, I can't work out. It's like, hey, do you know about senior management? I'm like, yeah, the woman with back tattoos. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, she wears backless clothing.
So what?
Well, I mean, like, she's part of, like, she talks directly to government, so I guess she's kind of I can't fly. You know, assumptions are immediately portrayed.
Hey, you want to see my
Guys, look when I swipe. Guys, look when I swipe.
guys, look, I can get movies for free on here. Guys, look at the face I made. Look how cool it is. I spent nice. Please compliment. Do that part.
I think I saw a video about like their secret plan. I guess kind of makes sense. So they've shown the Vision Pro cost $3,500 USD. That's always a fuckload of money, and it's pretty shit. It's quite expensive. Like, and you get two cases, but I think it's just people. There's videos of their plan. And then the next one they roll out is going to be cheaper and it's going to be better. And it's like, guys, it's the affordable version. Yeah. Like, just the notion of being happy.
Yeah, it's like the brand. Not really that.
Like, I mean, like you said, phone wise, I can call my mom, play Jeff Actor and what's it called, like, if I need anything better. I kind of want to get the iPhone 15 for the USB-C, just so I can get rid of the fucking lightning jack.
Fuck that, bro. Your lighting jack is standard.
No, it's not. No, that takes just for aesthetics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's actually fun. It's actually fun. Oh, man. That'd be cool, man. Always trying to fly.
In Melbourne, oh my god, I love it.
Why?
But I just wear fucking singlet, and then I wear a Fairtex jacket that's like 2 sizes too big for me, and wear the baggiest band. Oh, so good.
You're in Melbourne often?
Yeah, pretty often.
What
Like,
for? Family?
Family and friends, I guess. I know. He's so funny. I've seen him look up. I've seen him around, and he's so obvious. Well, he's a fucking dude. I was like,
Military people. You still doing AFC? Still doing any of that stuff? Or no?
I think I aged out. Yeah, it's like shit. Do you remember? Do you remember Jones? He was good. You drew a line. You've drawn another line. I'm drawing a line here. Okay. No. You remember Brandon? Fucking Waratah. I already forgot his name. It's almost like
Yeah.
Brandon.
Oh, was just on his glasses.
Yeah, Sergeant Brandon. Flight Sergeant Brandon. Yeah, well, I fucking hate him. He ended up, because Jones was fucking off, he replaced him. Fucking off. Yeah, he sucked. He proper sucked him. And do you remember, who was the not so normal guy? You know who I'm talking about, right?
I think like, is he the one with a really long face? Long ass face? I don't remember.
I think, yeah, he was blonde. He had the fucking mother beach fat. We were always, yeah.
Oh, Brown.
Yeah. And you know how Jones had a soft spot for him because of his son was a bit, which was fair. And you know it's good because he needs him. And then he left, he came in, couldn't but it was sad. And then he stopped completely.
Yeah, there's no. We had to clean that up. We cleaned that up.
No, what would have probably happened is, was that you?
No, that was Brown.
Oh, probably would have been.
Hell, dude. Honestly offended.
And then do you remember Zeke Cutler? Remember Samantha Lamborn?
I won't remember anything.
Oh my god. His fine ass lazy. He's a man that
Oh, yeah, I remember.
He's fine as hell. Oh. Okay. No. 09. What? No, I don't know. I think she's doing it.
Realm is so limited.
Oh my god, I just say this film daily. Yeah, actually, for real. It's crazy.
I just want to leave that one actually really super. Space is so fucking small compared to
Anywhere
anywhere
in America. I have such small, like, I know, the European mind, the Australian mind couldn't comprehend.
Yes. But, let's put it in. I want to go to those. Where is it? IKEA. I want to go to IKEA.
No, I'm Costco.
They have everything.
An American brand, an American food, like,
Never worry about food.
you're gonna go there. Give me a message. To America. We'll call you.
Yeah, we do. But me and Nick are actually telling me what we do. It's a big one. Besides learning Brazilian. Oh. You know why?
He's got nothing fucking better to do.
Apart from that, because
Oh, yes.
all of the noise like a bit high. Look at a beach house. Like everyone thinks
No, I'm thinking of like Puerto Rico. I think. Oh wait, that's it.
let's go to the place where the blues, remember the blue bird
Rio. Let's go. Let's go. Where Fidel Castro died. No, he didn't die.
So next game is
Next game.
next game. Sorry.
That's the way off.
Nice Darwin.
Paid my roadies.
You got a cup?
Oh, you got a
Javelin!
It's a like it's a lot. It doesn't follow anyone.
You know Jack!
I guess if you're in the classroom, I can help you set. Figure out the field and get around yourself. I just didn't interest me. The only reason I was like, Jordan Hollinger.
Oh, Apple today.
Yes.
Yeah, bro, you're nuts. It's like, they all fucking hated us. Us three together. Heaven forbid. We would be standing next to each other. Heaven forbid.
All grins and every grins and shit.
I remember, I think we were lining up in groups, and like this guy was explicitly not allowed to be in my flight, and he was getting ready to march in. Do you remember Ron fell?
Yeah.
What felt grabbed him and fucking dragged him back.
Oh, that's so funny, bro. They had we were just menaces, bro. That's why.
Yeah, it was so soulless in there.
Me and you lining up, looking back to fucking
It was just me.
just with you.
With my intake, and like all my friends. I was so like, I'm on my bad.
So I remember the time when Desai started training with football, and then they started training on the marching on that up and right. Me and you in line, stay next to each other. And we just
It was impossible. It was impossible. It was impossible. Oh.
I never drank enough water. Get off now. I never drank enough water. I hate people. I hate conflict. I hate people disrupting my life. I drink water. Haven't said I'm
Bro, I love drinking water. You look like fucking water bottle.
I love drinking water. I hate drinking it. It's from my life.
No, just fucking in your fucking piss out. In your bladder. Or just back at you. Yeah. Oh my god. You better trademark it. Just walk around with a fucking thingy. What is it called? Where they shove a tube up your urethra. It just speeds as that. It's like have it like you're walking.
Yeah. It's a little bag. It's like, why is it really that's good?
It was pretty funny though, like, because I was at the top, but I was so alone. Oh, but no one weren't up the top. Yeah. Because I was at the top, I was at the top and I was alone. So it was so fun. I'd bring a gas mask to do like, and just run around and fucking, in the fucking little like 12-year-old space.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then they changed it to, it was 13, and they made it to 12. It was actually kind of bullshit, because Brandon's daughter joined at 12. End of the year, promoted to corporal. Like, went on corporal course at the end of the year. How lucky. So then, like, corporal 1 year, then sergeant the next, and I think she's a senior right now.
Wow.
For 3 years. fucking like another 3 years in the barrel.
Yeah, she's speedrunning. How she is it?
Because her dad is the CO.
Oh, really?
No, we're good. Yeah, and then do you remember the fucking fire drill? Never happened again. Fire drill.
Oh, yeah.
It never happened again. We never did something like that ever again. We just never did it.
It was fun. Yeah, me, you, Simon back in Sin City, guns in our mouths. He didn't delete it, bro.
He deleted it?
Yeah, he deleted it all. It was all on his phone. I didn't have the phone. I bring my laptop, remember?
Bro, that is the burning of Alexandria right there.
What's that?
Oh, it's like this these like libraries that had like 10,000 years before, and it got burnt down.
Okay. Yes, it is like a bunch of that. He was afraid of it before. First did an Instagram shoot, remember? Same thing with when we made the flamethrower. He blew that too, was afraid to get arrested. He wouldn't have done himself.
But it was a different we knew that stuff. You know, like if I was in year 7 doing what I'm doing now, like I'd be fucking like. Apparently I was a menace in year 7, but I'd be a fucking villain. I was even a villain.
You decided to harass the shit out of me.
I'm surprised that he fucked with it.
You fucked with him all the time.
No, like I'm surprised like he like used to chill with me. Oh, because we fucked with him a lot.
Yeah. Dude, bro, you come talk to me, right? Yeah, no, you fucked with me, bro. You're fucking stupid. Tell me about it. I don't know.
Oh, I was not expecting to remember this.
Man,
You got probably a video I'm gonna figure out the part.
it is happening. Bro, we just hide instead of...
Good evening, welcome ladies and gentlemen to AFLNT's coverage. You're watching the 23-24 TIO NTFL season from Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval. We're here for round 18 action of the 23-24 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. The game of the round, the Nightcliff Tigers taking on Waratahs. My name is Nick Danks. I'm joined by my commentary partner this evening, Stuart Davis. Stuart, how are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks, Nick. It is the game of the round. The others really didn't have much significance as far as the premiership table was concerned. And this one, I'm not the mathematician, Nick, but there is a chance that Waratah could sneak into third place ahead of Southern Districts if they get the result right tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, that will happen is that if Waratah can win tonight, they'll get him into a qualifying final, of course, if they can keep their percentage and stay away from that dreaded elimination final, which is very hard. I think we're talking off air back to 2014, the last time someone's come through elimination final, so a big one for them tonight. So Southern District boys will be watching this game pretty closely.
Yeah, that's right. And, of course, that elimination final would be against Pint, playing finals for the first time, only their second year in the competition, and we know that Pint have beaten Waratah twice already this season, so I'm not one that Tars would relish, I would think.
The last time these two sides met was back in round 9. It was a tight contest all night. Waratah kicked away in the end and won by 4 points. But amazingly, that's the last time the Tigers lost a game. They've won their last 7 matches, a bye in between that as well. And in that time, Waratah's lost 3 games. And again, amazingly, they've lost to the 3 other final sides. St Mary's by 43 points, Southern Districts by 9 points, and Pint by 13. So if they lose this one tonight, in the last 10 weeks or so, the other 4 finalists have knocked them off. So big one for Waratah tonight to win this one.
Yeah, that's right. You just sense that their form has waned a bit. They struggled in a shootout against Darwin last week, won by a couple of goals, which was an important win as it turned out. But Yeah, you just sense that their form isn't as good as it was perhaps midway through the season.
And Jade Magro currently equal with Southern District's Jarrett Brander, who's having a bye, and St Mary's Jackson Calder, who got 4 goals today, so on 61 for the Denniston medal. So you'd think Jaden's in the box seat here now to pinch this one tonight, you would hope.
Yeah, just got to get on the end of one, doesn't he? But he'd like to get that out of the way early, I would imagine, and then settle down and play the game. So... yeah, he's been terrific all season and a real focal point for him up forward, and yeah, he's crucial to their chances of achieving success. Of course, they are the reigning premiers, and it would be tough to defend that title coming from 4th place, you would think.
Absolutely, and I was there in the last game of last season, last year, where they fed him the ball so often at Palmerston that he just couldn't get there over the line to get it. Of course, so tonight, as I said, 1 goal we'll get it for him. Just quickly, the other results, but we just kept waiting for this one to start. Tracy Village Wanderers defeated the Bombers by 12. At TIO St Mary's, big winners over the Buffs by 122 points. And it's quarter time at DXC Arena, and Pintley Palmerston by 26 points. 30 degrees in Darwin, and this should be a beauty. Who you fancy tonight, Stuart?
Nightcliff are the form side, aren't they? And they're playing at home, so yeah, can't go past them, but wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, match of the round for sure. As we're underway, big Arnold Kirby in the ruck for Tars up against Stanley Cox, and the ball just scrambling in the middle of the ground. Darms scoops in and hand passes on the up, but his teammate Moody got taken high in that tackle, and he's just trying to break free so he can go back and take his kick. So he's got leading players out on the near side of the ground, and that's the way he goes out to Norton, and who hands off to Philo. Philo quickly onto the left boot, delivers nicely to Darms, and Cooper Darms marks just forward of the centre wing and decides to go long. There's a pack of players back there. Big leap from the side. Cox almost held on to that one, just slipped out at and the mark not paid, but we'll have a ball up about 20 metres out from the Nightcliff goal. Kirby gets in front, but Cox wins it over the top. Cameron Eilert at ground level. He just lost possession of the ball, and Tars try to work it out of defence through the hands, and the chip kick comes out, and the mark taken by Carroll at half-back for Waratah. Players inboard, but eventually decides that the longer option is the best one and goes down towards half forward. The quick kick comes into a one-on-one contest. Magro's in that contest, has it punched away from behind, and falls to Clark, who hand passed over the top. Norton with a long hand pass trying to get it to Philo, but it fell at his feet, and it's picked up by Hutt, who hand passes back for Tars to go forward, and the ball bouncing out of bounds in front of Jack O'Sullivan, who again looks like he's started forward tonight after playing most of the season in defence. And there's, you see that Toby Hutt in the centre of screen there has limped off. Hopefully that's just a bit of a cork or something like that, but he doesn't look too well at the moment. So another stalemate here as the ball goes up. Kirby hooks it over the back, but it's Nightcliff first, hands on it. Darms again through the hands, gets it to Grundy. Grundy out wide, and Nightcliff chip it around the wing. A bit of interference in the marking contest there. I think you'll find that Philo will win that free kick. Robbie Barty a bit overzealous, just grabbed onto him. Philo on the right beat this time, kicks down towards half forward, but off hands Cassidy. Sweeps the hand pass, but that wasn't well directed at all. But eventually Tars able to work it forward, but again chopped off into defence, and it's Brown this time. So just a bit of seesaw football to start off. No one getting any real advantage. Ball basically being played between the two half-back lines.
Yeah, it's pretty much kick to kick at the moment. It started off with a little bit of pace in the game, but no one's just been able to settle down. A big grab early on in the game would have been a beauty to get it started for the Tigers, but you're right, just kick to kick at the moment.
See the Waratah coach Ryan Ayres in the foreground there with his coaching crew. As we're close to them from the vantage point here. Carlin wins that ball and throws it on the left boot down centre, forward of centre, but Brown chops it off for Nightcliff and just kicks it back to half forward as through the hands the ball that comes to the advantage of Singlipo, who can't take it. It falls to Grundy, who kicks long with a bouncing kick, bouncing towards goal, but touched through and through for another behind. Big John Butcher in picture there, back in the side for Nightcliff tonight as they make their final preparations to play finals football and settle their side. As this one short to Keranua. Keranua finds Westworth at half-back. Westworth plays on the left, kicks into the centre of the ground. It's punched away from behind, but at ground level it's O'Sullivan, who loops it over the top to Collis. Collis on the left boot, kicks long and wide, looking there for Carroll, gets it on the bounce, hand passes back to Collis, but it's Nightcliff who tidy it up at the back and brought away by Rinaldi to the outer side of the ground, but it touched over the boundary line. It'll be a boundary throw in again. So interesting that the two Collis boys are playing tonight. Will Collis back in the side.
He was a team working over in PMC, team of 3.
So Kirby and Cox again. Kirby in front, but no real advantage in the hit out. As another stalemate at ground level.
Yeah, just needs to slow down the pace a bit at the moment. It's still very rushed. I know we're a week away from finals footy, but it just needs to settle down both sides.
Kirby wins that hit out, but it's Nightcliff at ground level. Hand pass comes out to Darms, who throws it on the right boot. And good use of the body by Emery down there. Got rid of his opponent and then kicks high inside forward 50, but it's it's high and wide and out of bounds on the full, and will be brought back in by Spence. Spence kicks long round the outer side of the ground, but again it's going to come rebounding back, and Tars across half back doing the work. Cameron Eilert can't keep it in play, and it's a throw in once again.
Waratah are usually pretty good getting the ball moving when they get their handballs going. They just have not just said kicking each at the moment. And just need someone just to take a few more seconds on the ball. There's plenty of time out there. They're just banging it backwards and forwards.
So from that boundary throw in at ground level, well, it's a slinging type tackle, but play on's the call as the kick comes in. Working back there for Tars was Kiranua, but now that's a loose ball. It's a chance for Nightcliff. Comes to Singlipo, throws it on the boot, and goal umpire Jenny Rose signals that is the first goal of the game, and it goes to Tristan Singlipo. He just got on the end of the handball at ground level. So yeah, not much in it, but you talked about Tars looking to get the free-flowing football. Yeah. We do know that that Nightcliff are a stifling side in defence and man up well and don't allow much of that free movement.
Yeah, they did very well. They're locking that ball in the forward line as well. And Singlipo just managed to pinch the one to get the game started. 1-7. Tars yet to score, but only been forward a couple of times and not really threatened at the moment. 7 minutes into the game. Good crowd here again at Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval. They've got a good home crowd here.
Yeah,
last game of the season as well, so it's a bit of an event.
Yep, they've had their last 2 home games here of the season, so it's a good finish for them and a good build-up for the finals as we're underway again. Ball spills free, sweeping on it. In there was Clark, loops a hand pass over the top. Cox had lost his footing, but still managed to get the ball and get a hand pass forward. Brodie Carroll comes in trying to pinch it, works it to his own advantage, gets past it. Eilert in the end, gets a hand pass out but misses the target, and Moody goes by hand to it. Emery drills a pass inside forward 50, but it's just chipped out of defence by Tars, but Nightcliff set up pretty well as Moody finds a spare player in Brown in the middle of the ground, and Brown just settles things down a bit, goes out wide again to the outer side of the ground, and it's not much happening there as Tars eventually work it out through the hands and able to clear through Clark. He goes long round the outer wing. O'Sullivan out in front takes a nice mark, and he's looking to switch the ball across to the outer side of the ground where he's got a player in some space, and Tar's able to work it forward this time as the mark's been taken. Magro was in the area, but it wasn't directed to him, as it's Anthony Mankara who has taken the mark.
Just a bit of a toe poke to him. I think it might be.
It might be Barty.
Yep.
Yeah. So kicks towards goal. His teammates celebrate. Yeah, it's Robbie Barty that was on the end of that. Just a bit difficult. The camera and the angle from ground level here. So Barty, the goal scorer for Tars, and they get one in response to the opening goal that was kicked a few minutes ago.
First real foray forward for Waratah there. They did a stab kick into the forward line, but as you said, Barty got on the end of it and then just finished it off nicely.
So back in the middle of the ground, Jordan Wilkins in to do the ruck work for Waratah, and he'll be up against Butcher for Nightcliff. So Wilkins gets up high, gets his hand to the ball. There's a whistle on the play here. Looks like some holding off the ball, and it's going to go Nightcliff's way as Wines kicks long inside forward 50. Oh, big leap from behind, and a spectacular mark taken by Keranua. He stands up and chips it to the outer side of the ground, and Tars just working it away with short passing. This time the kick falls short, and Nightcliff able to turn it over, and the mark taken deep on the outer side as Keranua again takes another spectacular mark. In fact, it wasn't paid this time, but he's back in the action and bounces up, gets a hand pass, misses the target, hacked out of the ground, and Nightcliff the chance forward again. Sing Lippo again on the end of this one, but he's under plenty of pressure this time from O'Dwyer, and bit of push and shove in there as umpire Woods pays the free kick, in fact, and it's going to go Nightcliff's way.
Singlipo again.
Yeah, so just a bit vigorous in the tackle, I think, O'Dwyer, and Singlipo with a set shot this time from directly in front, only about 30 metres out. So his kick on the way, looks like it's straight through the middle. It is. His teammates get around him, and Nightcliff on the board for their second of the game.
2 goals, 1-13 to 1 goal. Waratah have scored. We're just going to get our scoreboard updated. We'll work on that for you. And the scorer of that goal actually for Waratah was Joel Hillis.
Right.
I've checked that out, so it's Joel.
Too many jumpers ending with a 0.
Yep.
So, yeah, so Hillis has come into the side in the back half of the season and become a regular in the side. So he's been a handy addition up forward for Tars as we're underway again. And Wilkins up high, gets his hand to the ball. It's cleared by Tars this time, straight down the middle of the ground. Magro punches it forward. This time it comes out to Mankara. Mankara hooks it round on the right boot. That kick looks pretty good. He's celebrating, and Tars with a quick response. So the game just starting to open up a bit as both sides hitting the scoreboard.
Yep, 2 goals, 1-13 to 2 goals straight for Waratahs. Again, they've gone forward twice and scored both occasions. So that's a pretty good result. Of course, we're keeping an eye on Jaden Magro, who is aiming to only needs 1 goal to top the season's goal scorers. You'd pretty much bet that he's going to get that, but he hasn't had an opportunity yet to get on the end of one.
Yeah, Jordan Wilkins is a young player that came through the ranks at Tars, and he's in the ruck, and he's been living in Adelaide a bit, I think, recently. But he's given some life in the middle, getting up high and getting his hand to the ball as Cox comes in to have a go now. But Wilkins again gets his hand to it, taps it forward. Carlin on the end of it, picks up and thumps long down to a one-on-one in the goal square at ground level, picked up by Henderson. He gets wrapped in the tackle. Munkara again tries to work it through to his own advantage. Well, the quick hand pass comes out. Carroll snatches it. Hand passes out to Carlin. Carlin snaps towards goal, but couldn't bring this one back, and it's through for a behind to Waratah.
All tied up here at Darwin, Mazda Nightcliff Oval. Coming into the 14-minute mark of the first quarter.
Don't forget to say what day was. Don't forget to tell her what day was.
Yeah, it's the game's opened up, as we said, and a lot more attacking football being played, and both defences being put under pressure as Henderson takes the mark from the kick in and just slows things down a bit for Nightcliff. Kicks around the outer wing, and in the end, Scotty Carlin just took an uncontested mark behind the pack, really. Chipped inward, a high leap, but no mark taken as Nightcliff tidy up again. The kick comes close to the boundary line, and Butcher out in front takes it on his chest in front of O'Dwyer, and he's on the centre wing in front of the interchange gates there.
That's a sight you don't see very often. Kirby in the interchange. What? must have lost a shoelace or something because he'd always rest in the pocket.
So just a stalemate here at half forward, and it'll be a ball up again. So Kirby's back in the action now, doing the ruck work up against Cox. Hooks that one over the top. Nicely controlled by Carroll, who got the hand pass out, but his teammate got taken to ground pretty quickly, and it spills out to Philo, who throws it on the boot down towards full forward. Big leap, but no mark taken, and it spills across the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
I'm curious to see how it will come up on their end.
So just ticking up to 15 and a half minutes in this first quarter. Pretty warm day, bit of cloud in the background, but conditions pretty good. It's a good time of day to play as O'Dwyer with the clearing kick. Gets it out of defensive 50, but at ground level Grundy just couldn't control it. Cassidy there for Tars. He gets tackled over the ball, and it was Jake Twycross who'll stand up, and it'll be a ball up again. Beautiful hit out there from Kirby down to Clark, but he got bundled out of the way, and Tars work it through the hands. Collis through the midfield. That's a good pass to Carlin. Carlin in some space, chips short. Magro gets it on the bounce, swings her out on the left boot. His kick's smothered, and it spills out to the advantage of Munkara. He swings back onto the left boot, chips around towards goal. It's bouncing across the face of goal. First there is Hutt for Tars. He tries to direct it back to a teammate, but Nightcliff have got numbers there and are able to clear it away, but only as far as Ryan, who took the mark. His kick was smothered again as he tried to move it in quickly. Comes back to Ryan, attempts to break the tackle, got a hand pass out, and now Nightcliff scrambling in defence as the ball spills out. A quick kick by Cox, gets it out into some space, but Collis is there. He gets the hand pass as he's tackled. Out to the advantage of O'Sullivan, struggling to pick it up in the first instance, but eventually does and gets it by hand to Collis. Collis kicks long down towards full forward. Again, there's a pack of players, and Nightcliff scrambling in defence. Twycross comes in, gets the hand pass up to Ryan. Ryan hasn't got much to go to, tries to get past an opponent and gets caught as Twycross just tries to thump that to his team's advantage. He gets penalised. The advantage is paid to Cassidy out in front of Kirby. Kirby picks up, kicks towards goal. It's bouncing towards the line, but again, Nightcliff in defence thump it away, but only as far as Ryan, who couldn't take the mark as Cassidy came in to help. Ryan gets a kick in towards the forward pocket. It's really scrambly here, backwards and forwards, as Nightcliff get it out, and eventually Twycross takes the mark, and Nightcliff off and running through Kennedy. Kennedy kicks long over the top of a bit of a pack of players, two players from each side that have formed there, and eventually the ball gets forced over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in once again.
They're certainly one of the stingiest defences in the league, Nightcliff. They just will not let that one go. I think 753 points is all they've let in for the whole season, so that's not 40, 50 points a game. So they've certainly been one of the best defences in the league.
I don't know who they're called, but they make the pineapples in the bash one.
So Kirby in front, takes it himself, gets a hand pass, but Eilert gets a fist in there and sees it over the boundary line for a replay of that boundary throw-in.
Coming up to time on, you're watching AFL-NT's coverage of the 23-24 TIO NTFL season here from Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval.
Like their names are so cute, like a bash bunny or a pineapple.
So from that throw-in, Cox up high. Oh, tried to kick it out of the air, but it falls to Carlin, who's had plenty of the football early. That kick not his best as Eilert picks it up. Darms fumbled as he was looking to dispose of it, and Tar's able to turn it over. Cleared out of defence by O'Dwyer long down the line as O'Sullivan in the contest. Got it out to his teammate there in Hillis, who lost possession of the ball. And again, it's tight in the contest. The ball's wrapped in and it'll be a ball up again. So Kirby just thumps this one forward, but well read by Nyhouse, who throws it on the boot towards half forward. Singlippo was involved there as the ball got past him, and now at ground level, Nightcliff the chance again. The kick comes in, it's bouncing towards goal, but just the wrong side of the goalpost and through for a behind.
Let's put the Tigers in front, 2-2-14 to 2-1-13, coming up to time on here in the first quarter.
So Tar's just happy to chip it around in defence as Waratah looks inboard and finds Spence, who kicked it to him prior to that. So Spence just settles things down a bit here. Now called to play on and eventually goes long towards the outer wing in the marking contest. That's a strong mark taken by O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan swings onto the right boot, kicks down towards half forward. Ball gets out the back. Running onto it down there was pulling, but couldn't keep it inside the field of play as it bounced out and over for a boundary throw-in. Into time on in the first quarter, just to point the difference, a couple of goals each, a tight contest, and had about 4 or 5 minutes where it broke open, but apart from that, it's been a real arm wrestle as the boundary throw-in. This time Cox wins it for Nightcliff, and again a strong tackle, not much room to move out there, and umpire Noonan says that's holding the ball, so it's going to be a Waratah free kick.
She's like, hey, this is the new assessment, and we just put it in the computer without even saying yes.
So the long kick inside forward 50. Nightcliff are set up well again, and Henderson takes that intercept mark. Chips out wide. And Rinaldi now called to play on, gets around the player on the mark, kicks long down the line. Again, the pressure's on in the marking contest, spills out the back where Scott couldn't keep it in play, and it's over the boundary line for a throw-in once again.
Yeah, he just lost the handle of that. He looked up to see what he could do with it. In the meantime, he lost control of the ball. But in the Nightcliff's forward half at the moment.
So from that throw-in, it's Eilert at ground level, gives it to Darms. His kick's smothered. Good work at ground level by Collis, and gets it to Barty, whose quick kick is chopped off and back to Collis again. Dylan Collis around the outer side. Munkara at ground level just takes it and then drills a pass inboard looking for Magro, but he's dispossessed and trying to run it out of defence. Play on's the call as the ball spilled out, and Darms takes the mark. He's got Twycross out wide, but that wasn't his best kick. Eventually the ball finishes with Twycross. He got it to Wines. Nightcliff working backwards here rather than forwards as Wines swings around on the left, and he chips close to the boundary line. Scott diving attempt at mark, didn't hold on to it, and eventually it's just bundled away and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Coming up to 23 minutes, 1 point the difference. It won't be an extra long quarter, you wouldn't think, as we wait for the ball to come back in.
No, I might work right now, bro.
So Kirby just thumps that one forward. Darms is on the end of it, but the siren's beaten everyone there as that's quarter time in this game from Nightcliff Oval, and a tight one, Nick.
Yeah, we'll be back with you shortly after this bit break. Nightcliff up by a point.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Welcome back for round 18 action of the 23-24 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. Nightcliff versus Waratah. I'm Nick Danks, my commentary partner Stuart Davis. Stuart, your thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, hasn't really reached great heights, has it, Nick? But it's an arm wrestle, as we often see with Nightcliff games. They're very strong defensively. They're strangling in defence, and Waratah are experiencing that now. And really, the way the game opened, you might have thought that Nightcliff might just get a bit of a lead early, but Tars have done pretty well to hang in so far. But of course, what they need as far as the season is concerned to string some goals together and get a pretty good win tonight, but not sure that's going to happen.
No, undefeated since round 9, the Tigers, and Waratah have lost 3 games to the other final sides. The big news, of course, Jaden Magro been held scoreless, didn't have hardly got a touch that quarter, needs a goal for the medal. We'll see what happens this quarter. We're back underway.
So Tars with the first clearance, the ball goes long down towards half forward, just standing his ground in front was Hillis, takes a nice mark and now chips the ball in forward 50. Just good defence again from Nightcliff as Vile got his hands to the ball. The ball bounces into the hands of Rinaldi. They work it through the hands out the back and get it to the outer side of the ground where the ball's thumped forward in the marking contest beautifully. Picked up by Wines on the run one-handed and then throws it on the left boot down towards the wing out there. Just paddled out over the boundary line by Gleeson for Tars, and umpire Noonan's happy enough for that to be a boundary throw-in. Just waiting on the throw-in on the outer side of the ground. It's big Arnold Kirby there up against Cox. Kirby gets it down, but it's Nightcliff with the clearing kick. Just pinging it around. Carlin gets one over the top. The ball comes out into the clear as it was Mackenzie who ran forward, got the hand pass forward, and the kick inside 50 lands in the hands of Jack O'Sullivan. He judged it nicely, took a nice mark, and he'll go back for a set shot directly in front at the scoreboard end of the ground.
I think Magro was looking at his hands there wondering why he didn't get that mark, but he'll take this one. Still got plenty of time.
Jack O'Sullivan with the set shot. The goal umpire's making a bit of ground and that one's missed out to the right. So behind ties the scores up early in the second quarter.
Breeze looks pretty strong to that end. You can see the trees around the outer side of the ground there. Ball spent a fair bit of time on the other side of the wing as well.
Yeah, I noticed that the players seem to like to play that outer side of the ground here, which isn't great for us. But Philo with the kick in goes long to that outer side, punched away, and the ball spills out. Moody gets on the end of it eventually. Hand passes over to Darms. Darms kicks long down towards full forward. It's out in space. Emery's going to be first there for Nightcliff. Tries to hook this one back, but that's not coming back far enough, and it's through for a behind. So a quick transition there from Nightcliff, but unable to get the kick on target, and Tars will bring it back in through O'Dwyer. He goes short to Clark. Clark has a running player here, and Tars work it through the middle of the ground. The ball gets out the back, but again, it's a bit of a scramble in the middle of the ground as players trying to break free get tackled to the ground. Sing Lippo gets bundled out of the pack. Carlin gets a hand pass out. The hand pass comes out the back eventually. Now it's Philo with a flying shot towards goal, but that one's not going to come back either, and just sneaks inside the behind post for a point.
Yeah, he knew that. As soon as it came off his boot, he knew he'd pushed that too far to the right. And but another point on the board, 2-4-16 to 2-2-14.
O'Dwyer to bring the ball back into play, just weighing up his options. Eventually jogs out of the defensive goal square and kicks wide to the outer side of the ground. And Brown out there just happy to paddle it down and over the boundary line, and another boundary throw in.
Again, no real structure from either side at the moment in this quarter. They're just... Tigers had a moment there a few minutes ago where they got a couple of handballs together, but just kick and chase at the moment.
So Kirby with the hit out, but the kick is smothered as Moody runs onto that one. He gets wrapped in the tackle and then dumped afterwards. Ball spills out to Darms. He's tackled immediately by Cassidy and taken to the ground. So again, it's tight in close and no one able to break free as Kirby hooks it with the left hand this time. Hand pass comes out to Mackenzie. Mackenzie kicks long down towards full forward. From the marking contest there, the ball spills out to the front of the pack. And again, a strong tackle, sorry. And it's Twycross this time wrapped up in the tackle. And it'll be a ball up again, this time inside forward 50 for Waratah. So Hutt doing the ruck work, wins it down, but picked up by O'Sullivan. He swings it around the body, out towards the pocket, punched away defensively by Nightcliff, and eventually this hand pass comes across to Moody. Moody through the hands to Wines. Wines to Twycross in the middle of the ground, gets around the player in front of him, chips short to Darms in the centre of the ground, and Darms just checks himself and goes back and takes the kick, chips out wide, and finds Paris. Paris up from half forward, tries to get around the player in front of him, Carroll, but couldn't do so, and eventually just a short up and under kick, and it was chopped off pretty easily, and Tars bring it away again as it's taken by Cassidy in the middle of the ground. He's looking to play on now, gets around Moody and kicks long inside forward 50. The ball gets over the top. This time they've got a player out the back, Mankara. He takes the mark, runs off towards the open goal, and he's paddling it around, and eventually they get it to Magro on the line. So it was looked like Mankara had a pretty easy run in to have a shot at goal, but never does the orthodox Mankara, and eventually it landed in the hands of Magro, and his teammates are congratulating him, Nick.
Yep, he's got the Dennis Star medal, 62 for the season now, beating Southern District's Jared Brando, who's had a great year on 61, and Jackson Calder always has a good year also on 61. He got 4 today. But that's the one Magro needed. I don't think he's got a closer one to the goals all year, and he'll take that one and takes a bit of pressure off him. He can settle down now because he certainly that was his first opportunity.
Yeah, probably his first disposal of the game, I would think.
Yeah.
And he's been held pretty tightly. I think it's Rinaldi that's got the job on him back there. He's had some of those tagging roles during the year as Nightcliff tried to break from the centre. Eilert at ground level was ploughed into the back of, I think, and he'll stand up and take the free kick here.
Just you want it at Eilert's age to have Kirby land on top of you.
He kicks long down towards the goal square. It spills out the back. That Tars defence under pressure here. Butcher swings around. He's looking for something in open play there, but all he could do was kick it to an opponent, and pulling chips out wide, and Tars the chance to just settle down a bit as Barty goes around the outer side of the ground. O'Sullivan. Ball bounced off his chest that time and over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in once again. So you see tall Jordan Wilkins puts his hand up, indicating that he's doing the ruck work here. And he'll be up against Stanley Cox. As comes in, Wilkins gets his hand to the ball, but at ground level it's Nightcliff. Play on's the call as they drive it down towards half forward, but Tars working in defence. The small kick only goes as far as Wines. He kicks on the left down towards half forward. Sing Lippo at ground level got some attention as the ball dribbled away, and it'll be the throw in. See the Nightcliff crowd on the balcony there.
Yep, in the club room.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too much advice coming from there, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I've tried to broadcast her up there. It's a bit noisy.
So Wilkins and Butcher, neither of them can get a hand to it. Tars clear it away around the outer side of the ground, but again, It's well read and chopped off, and Nightcliff will go straight back in as the long kick. Ball spills to ground from that marking contest and just hacked out of defence by O'Dwyer. It's high, but no mark taken as scrambling, trying to find some space. Eventually a quick kick comes out wide into a bit of space for Tars now, and they bring it away down the outer side of the ground, but Sing Lippo's first. It's a Scott, in fact, for Nightcliff, and he ducks back inboard. Some good evasive work, and his kick's good to find Henderson in the middle of the ground. So you can see all the players pushing back. He won't have too much to go to here, and decides to go short instead. But again, the pressure from behind sees the ball forced to the ground. Cox hand passes over the top to Scott. Scott hooks around, but that one's not coming back and floats out of bounds on the full in the forward pocket down there, and Tars will relieve from defence.
Just seems to be kick to a contest, kick to a contest, kick to a contest at the moment. No one's just taking that half a step. They probably haven't got much room sometimes, but the other times they are.
Spence with the long kick, and again it's just to the contest here as it comes out over the back, flipped over as Carroll tries to control it at ground level. Again, a strong tackle sees the ball forced out of the hands of Will Collis, and it'll be a boundary throw in. So right on the interchange gate there, ball thrown in. Working his way to the front was Wilkins. There's a whistle on the play here, and the free kick's going to go Wilkins' way. Interference in the ruck contest. He sees something he likes inboard and goes to Collis, Dylan Collis, in the middle of the ground. Chips short out wide, and O'Dwyer goes short, but again Nightcliff working back, able to get a fist to the ball. Nyhouse tidies up, hand passes forward to Sing Lippo. He got caught, had to hand pass off, but Nightcliff have got the runners again as the ball goes long inside 50, but it's off target and bouncing over the boundary line next to the behind post, and it'll be a boundary throw in deep in the forward line for Nightcliff.
Coming up to the 12-minute mark of the second quarter, Nightcliff 2-4-16, with Waratah leading 3-2-20.
So you see Paris down there with Westworth. Westworth decides to bolt off and play the goalkeeper role on the goal line as Tars get the clearing kick from that boundary throw in, but Darms at ground level gets a hand pass up to Philo, who kicks long inside forward 50. The ball punched away from behind, but again couldn't be kept in play, and beats Kennedy over the boundary line. It'll be a throw in the left forward pocket.
The last time these two sides met in round 9, it was 6-11 to 5-13. So it's a very similar sort of night tonight by the looks of it. Waratah winning that one by 4 points.
Oh, attempted a hack off the ground by Cassidy, but had enough time to get back in and pick it up and then kick it forward. O'Sullivan with a hand pass over his shoulder doesn't hit a target, and Nightcliff swarming back in numbers as at ground level Darms just fishes it out to his teammate Grundy, but again good defensive work, and sees the ball over the boundary line. It'll be a boundary throw in on the outer wing. So Wilkins in front, Butcher forces him out of the way, gets his hand to the ball, but it's Cassidy at ground level who picks up and kicks long forward, and he finds Kirby on the outer side there. Kirby drills a pass in short, but it's just gone over the head of his target, but still got chances there as Ryan gets it off to Mackenzie. Mackenzie with a shot at goal as he's pushed, kicks towards goal, but couldn't bring that one back. Just left it hanging out to the right. So Waratah maintain their lead. It's only a 5-point lead, though they've scored the only goal of the quarter in this second quarter.
Yeah, 1 goal, 3 points kicked in total this quarter. But a mistake here in the back. We just got away with that one, I think.
Yeah, Magro was pouncing on it, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
It's a Nightcliff free kick in the back pocket.
Good tries, keep attacking. Good.
Heat him over, Jim. Heat him over, Jim.
Check his run, Jimmy. Check his run.
So Long down towards the wing. Ball just thumped forward and spills out wide. Philo trying to gather it at ground level. He's swamped by a couple of Waratah players and he's going to be penalised for dragging the ball back in. So Tar's looking to move it quickly. They go out wide to Mackenzie. Now Mackenzie doesn't have much to go to up forward. It's called to play on now. It kicks long and high just to, in hope really, to the top of the goal square. Nyhouse double fists it away and Tigers have got the numbers at ground level as Grundy has a tap on the ground. Hand passes out wide and Norton with the sweeping hand pass over the top, but again just misses the target, and Tar's able to work it away through the middle of the ground. Eventually it spills here and the pass just gets over the target there, and Nightcliff hack it out of defence off the ground. Collis tries to trap it at ground level, but it's Butcher who gets it out to Scott. Scott chips it in high towards half forward. Sing Lippo over the back. The ball floated over his opponent and into his hands, and Sing Lippo takes the mark, but Nightcliff did move it pretty quickly that time and before Waratah could get numbers back in defence.
Kicking, aiming for his third now.
Yeah, he's
standout performance.
Yeah, he's the only multiple goal scorer, and chance to make that three, as you say, Nick. But he's directly in front, about 35 out. Knee pretty heavily strapped as the kick's on the way, but he's just dragged that one to the left and a behind only.
Just dragged that to left, trying to just get that little bit of extra distance. It must have been right on his range, and yeah, unfortunately just pushed that wide. But 2-5-17 to 3-3-21, 16-minute mark of the second quarter.
O'Dwyer goes long to the outer side of the ground, gets plenty of distance, and finds his teammate out there, Brodie Carroll, just indicating that he wants to go long, and does that eventually. But Nightcliff with numbers back there. Cox got his hand to the ball. Eilert at ground level picked it up and gave it to Grundy, who clears to the outer side of the ground, but again not well directed, and out in front gets over the boundary line. So it'll be a throw in on that outer side of the ground in front of the bowling green out there.
If the other final sides at the moment, you're looking at this, you're thinking, what am I going to get out of this game? Well, it's that scrappy at the moment. There's really not showing what's talent both of these sides have got.
So Kirby in front, Eilert at ground level. Again, the ball just spills out of his hands and comes to Cox, who throws it on the boot, bouncing it inside forward 50. Keranua back there, couldn't control it. Darms forces it out to the advantage of a teammate. It comes back to Darms, but he can't control it at ground level. It ricochets into the hands of Cassidy, who goes short to Mackenzie. Mackenzie up the middle of the ground, but his teammate's under pressure in Carlin, but Nyhouse gives away the free kick in that contest, and Carlin goes short up the middle of the ground, and here's a chance as Clark drills the pass in, but again, good defensive work. The ball spills out, a long shot at goal, but it's wide and out of bounds on the full. Hit the behind post, and so another wasted opportunity. See Ryan Ayres there in picture, a bit bemused about what's happening with their forward entries as the chip pass comes out to Eilert. 18 minutes gone, second quarter, just the one goal for the quarter as Eilert comes near side of the ground, and the mark taken by Vile over the back. But it's all stop-start at the moment as he drills along the near side of the ground. The ball at ground level, or coming in strongly, was O'Dwyer. Gets himself back up to his feet. Hand pass comes over the top as Carroll gets wrapped up in the tackle, gets the hand pass out, but not quickly enough, and Butcher will be rewarded with the free kick.
There's a couple in there then, and the umpire pulled one out.
Butcher goes high towards half forward, punched away from behind. Nightcliff trying to get it through the hands at ground level, but eventually it comes back to Gleeson, who clears straight down the middle of the ground. Bodies flying everywhere in that contest. The ball spills out to Mackenzie, who gets tackled and loops a long hand pass forward as Hillis runs onto that one, picks up now, and it chips forward. He's got Munkara in some space. Munkara takes the mark, and Brown on the mark. Munkara looking inboard at what his options are, but you'd think that from out there he'd just about have the distance if he wanted to have a go at it.
Looks like he's thinking the breeze does push to the right on this one here, so you can have to aim for the left-hand post and bring it back.
So Munkara laconically just chips it up. He's trying to bring it back on that breeze, but just went across too far and was thumped over for another behind to Waratah. Cameron Islet this time back there to bring the ball back into play. Going out of side of the ground again. So ball's punched. Well, that's an interesting attempt at handball by Kennedy over the top, but it's scrambling on the outer side of the ground. No one able to get it out. Eventually a quick kick comes out of the pack and spills out to the advantage of Moody at ground level. That's Jay Moody, who just dribbles a kick forward as he was under pressure, and again it's just rolled out over the boundary line. So been seen a fair bit of that tonight.
And we're in a time on, and you wouldn't think the other quarter went for about 22 and a half minutes, and there was 4 goals scored. We've had 1 in this quarter, so this should finish any second now, you would think.
Yeah, and hopefully the sides go in at half time, have a bit of a reset, and come out with, it's just as you speak, the siren goes, Nick, to end the quarter. So, yeah, not the most entertaining of quarters, just the 1 goal scored, but it was enough to get Waratah their noses in front at half time, and they'd be pretty happy with that.
Yep, 5-point lead to Waratah as we go into half time. We're back with you shortly here, Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval.
You know Territorians go a long way for one another. So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we are here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Looking for a fun day out with your family or friends? Head on over to Palmerston Mini Golf. With our beautifully landscaped course suitable for all ages, you'll have a blast playing mini golf here at Palmerston. We offer the perfect setting for kids' birthday parties, complete with special packages to make their day unforgettable. And if you're looking to have some fun with your mates, we have you covered too. Play during the day or under lights. We're open until 10 p.m.
And we'll see you around Palmerston Mini Golf.
Find us at the Palmerston Golf and Country Club.
So we're here on a Friday night for our NAB AFL Oz Kick, where we run a girls only option, and the kids are pumped, ready to rock and roll and have some fun with the footies.
We signed our daughter up for Auskick because her big brother did Auskick last year and she just loves it. I thought signing her up for a girls only group would be a great chance for her to kind of be with some friends in a comfortable environment.
The thing about a girls only team that I think Zoe really enjoys is that she gets to run around with like-minded girls. They get distracted, they do cartwheels, they hold hands, they sing. It just makes it a bit more of a fun experience.
I like Auskick because I get to play with my sister. We love Auskick!
A number of parents have asked if their daughter has to be in the all-girls group, and they don't. There will be some girls that will naturally just gravitate to brothers or cousins and join the boys group and have just as much fun if it were to be single sex. So yeah, there's definitely options there every Friday night.
My girls just love interacting with the other girls here. They love kicking a footy, they love learning the skills, and they love the hot dog at the end. I love joining in with my girls. I actually can't help myself, and I love to see the skills not only of my kids but of the other kids in their girls only group really developing over the clinic.
Evie just loves playing the games, learning new things. She'll be doing it then for the rest of the weekend, doing her favourite kicks, telling us how many goals she kicked on Friday night.
The best thing about Auskick is that it's really fun. It's lots of fun for them.
Yeah!
By Buffs, and Buffs over the top through Jared Stokes there, and Stokes gets it long inside forward 50. Coming at it is Stafford, but Stafford can't quite get it, but a teammate I can't quite see who that is. It's very glary out here today, and has kicked Buff's first goal for the game. And that looks like Coco Nicky.
He's in exactly the same spot, and he tries to sell candy again. He's hooked it on goal, Sam, and popped it through.
What a goal. He's just gone, I'll just play on while you're mucking around on that mark that I've set you on, and I'll bang it on the right boot and score back in deep inside Buff's forward 50. Archered first one there. Hutt just trying to push him under, and it's a quick snap on goal. Can't quite pick up who that was, but that takes Tar's second goal there.
And Campbell went over the top, but the umpire said play on. A chance here for Buffalo. Clever handball. He'll be goalless. He's going to run to an open goal and slam it through, and that was number 18, I reckon, Ishmael.
Tars are going to take that advantage, and if kicking in danger and pulling just goes short. Got caught behind was Magro, but a big quick snap off the side, and that looks like number 25 possibly. I didn't quite catch who that was, sorry. Did you catch who it was, Gray?
The Buffaloes are going in. There's a nice handball. No, he's grabbed two. Should be a shot here by Ryan Clark. No, he handballed it wide, and it's going to go through for a goal, I think. That's a very good goal. And that guy running back towards us with the blue boots is a goal kick, I reckon.
Yeah, that's Abe Anchors there, and kick doesn't quite come off, and Yaron first there, but plays for that free kick, and he says no, and Ryan Clark's released Joel Willis, and Ryan Clark has released Lachlan Cassidy. Sorry, I better give you your credit where credit's due. To Darcy Sketcher, and Sketcher just goes long to a contest. You got Ishmael Palmer over there with the big spoil, but off the deck through the middle of the sticks. Kyle McBean, thank you very much. Lovely soccer kick off the deck by McBean there. And that
no, it's not. Still in contest. Here's a chance for Waratah. Hillis running into an open goal. He's going to handball. He is. Left it a bit late though. Ooh, they're going to get away with this. Left foot snap by Carolo. Plenty of poise there from the former skipper.
And follows up his work in the middle, and a short kick finds Tommy Spence. He's been in the back line all day. Can he kick Tar's first goal? And he does. He'll be stoked for that, and that gives them the lead in the first 20 seconds of this quarter.
Might get it now. Buffalo to get it out. They go forward, looking for Big Stafford. He's behind. He's tapped it cleverly though over the back to
Coco Nicky there.
Coco was it, or Ishmael? It was Coco, and he's kicked a goal. A magnificent goal, very similar to the first goal they kicked in the game.
Sure is. So Wilkins versus Stafford in the ruck. Clark can't quite pick it up, and Campbell goes boom on the left. Can he kick his goal and put Buffaloes ahead? He can, straight out the pack. And he does, and I'm sure they're celebrating out there. But running through slightly high, but Anchors, he's going to get it. Can he put his team in front? He's running in, and he's kicked it. And that's put Tars back in front, taking the lead by 3 points, and Anchors a match winner, I would say. And he's just going at the footy Maronis there, and that's the siren. So Waratahs take the chocolates, 19 goals, 17, 131 against Darwin Buffaloes, 18 goals, 12, 120. And Gray, what an absolute tight tussle all game. And
he's popped it high, looking for an option, but just turned over. Anderson again, beautifully picked up. Snap on the left boot. It's drifting. Oh, he's better on it with a bit of a snap, I reckon, than a set shot. Right. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Goal kicker from moments ago was a quick kick forward by Moody. Goes down to a one-on-one at full forward. Nicely trapped by his brother Moody, who swings it around. Jay Moody it was. And he kicks a nice goal there. Yeah, had about 3 grabs at it, but clearly he was the only one that touched the ball as Moody just drifts across the front of the pack, gets his legs taken out, but now a quick kick forward again. I think this is another goal. It is. And it's another Nightcliff goal, and they've banged on 3 in pretty quick time. Plenty of space out there was Kane Davidson. hands off to Anderson, who came running from behind. Anderson kicks long towards goal. Goal umpire doesn't move much at all, and Jed Anderson has got his second goal on the board. Umpire standing behind, making sure he doesn't get off the line of his kick. He kicks long towards goal. The kick looks pretty good. As it got there, it's gone right to the line. I think that might have got over. It has gone over. So another Nightcliff goal that's just centimetres over the line.
Ball goes high. White Ryan gets a hand to it. Looks like it's come off the boot of Cockatoo. Stanley Waistcoat just skips over the top of him. Snap off the boot. Has he got it? Just gone. You can see a punter in the crowd there's just been nearly absolutely falconed.
In front, gets it down. Cockatoo got his hands to it. Back to Ryan, who throws it on the left boot. Kicks long. Dennis gets his hands to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. It spills to Barry at ground level. I think he's got one under the legs of everyone else. And that's a terrific goal. Dylan Barry that time.
Offensive work there by Districts, and it's Adrian Scott doing what he can against a sea of crocodiles, but Philo with a snap over the top from behind. The umpire with a very impressive view style goes, yep, that is all yours. Beautifully done there from Philo to read that. And manages to get that one into a little bit of space. No one cleared, picked that one up yet, but it is an opportunity here to go bang. Will it drift around? Yes, it does. What a fantastic moment there for Dylan Barry, and it gets him on the board yet again. It's
short of Schwartz, but he's able to get it back to Ross, who's swung in the tackle and gets a kick forward, and the mark's taken. Barry it was that took the mark, wasted no time, got around the players who were a little bit asleep around him and banged it on the boot, and he's kicked his fourth goal for the game. He's
zone for the Crocs that'll have to try and clean this one up, which they do, but Nightcliff too good with a snap that goes high over the top. Has it gone through? Yes, it has, and it's Moody. Into the 50, goes high, no one with the clear mark under pressure. You can see it's Brander. Hand pass finds Cockatoo. Cockatoo, snap over the top.
I think it's good.
Has it gone through? Umpire says yes.
Scrambling defence from Districts now as the hand pass comes out to Palmer. Palmer chips looking for Waistcoat, and the siren goes to end the game, and you can see that players are exhausted.
Absolutely.
Every one of them out there. It's been a grueling contest, but Nightcliff just 10-point winners, but to me just seem to have control of the game for most of the day, Tara.
Cantilla. Cantilla got up high from behind but picked up and snapped on goal. And the first goal of the game goes to Benjamin Brett. And a good goal that was, well read off the ruckman. Hit out here by Brendan Cantilla. Thompson tracking it, well done. Warwick Williams shoved the tackler. And he's kicked it. Warwick Williams happy with himself as well. Loves kicking a goal, Warwick Williams. See him play up forward a lot for Pints this season. Gives it back to Murray, gives it back to Simpson. He was under enormous pressure, so Pint here applying the pressure, and that is a beautiful snap. And that was kicked by Lee Peters, I think that was, or no, number 2, Andrew Mead Harding. They've got all the players here. Look, 2 can rattle that off.
Got numbers everywhere.
Yeah, picked up by Hallmark. Hallmark can have a shot on goal, and it's got the legs and he's kicked it. So he's got his first.
So I think that's the ambition of the Green Ants.
And more importantly, as we just watch this
first
go.
1%ers, yeah.
Taggart, and he's kicked the goal. So he's on the goal scorers list now. So Rory Taggart kicks it. Target, take it a little bit high there. The umpire gave the benefit of the doubt. Poor Jimmy, steps around one. This is the X factor that I love about the young kid. And he's kicked it. The Dyer's poor Jimmy has kicked his first goal, and the Tiwi Bombers were rewarded with their second goal. Well done, young fella. On the foot would be a free kick. Too easy, Taggart, and he's got his second. Just too easy there.
Very simple, isn't it?
Yeah, look at him. He's got good size to him too. Looks pretty strong there. Sit out, does the team thing, and Silver Yusuf will pick it up, and a brilliant tackle by Kurt Dunn. But somehow Silver Yusuf still managed to get the kick away. Even though he was on the ground, I thought it should have been holding the footy, but...
One for the all clear, no, it's been given. Mucking around a bit though, Pint. They're starting to overuse it. They don't like to throw.
Here's Brett. Empty goal square, and it bounces through. So Benjamin Brett, he gets himself on the scorers list.
Scored it, Teth. I've kicked 7 already.
Oh, Silver Yusuf was up high. Here's Motlop. This time he makes sure of it. Stephen Motlop gets his first. And that's a beautiful mark taken there by Rory Taggart. And here's Silver Yusuf will run in and kick his third goal. So Yusuf, welcome back to the Pint colours. So Motlop won't be too impressed with that third quarter effort, I wouldn't feel.
Sloppy. Here's a goal though.
So Taggart, is that? No, that's not. That's Mead Harding. I reckon he's kicked that. Yeah, he has. So games that he has played, he'd get close to nearly best on ground each one. He's gone the torpedo. Geez, I'll tell you what, he's done a good effort. Oh, it's over the line. He's kicked it from 60 odd metres out, the young fella. Carlson Cantilla, bow to the crowd. That is a beautiful goal. We've done pretty well back there as well. Thompson coming through and been happy with his game as well. This just hangs in the air. Potts has to compete. And he sneaks it in there. That's Taggart. So he's kicked his 5th. What is
Roy Rogers' days.
Very strong build as the siren goes to end this game, but can he kick his 5th? And he can. The goal umpire does not move. Taggart has 5 goals. Pint have kicked 19 goals, 17, 131. Nearly 100-point win here to Pint.
The handle, St Mary's have the footy now, favouring the corridor, get it inside Paredes, has a bounce after 2 paces, Paredes runs to 50, kicks on goal, won't make the distance, over the back Calder, can this be number 1 of his 13? Up from where he takes the mark to the middle of the goal line, he runs around onto his non-preferred left, and Calder has won the first goal of the game. Took him 7 minutes 22 seconds, but he got it. System working, a series of handballs, out it goes wide to Joel Garner off the and running in to an open goal, and there's the goal. There's another one. Thomas Dewsbury got a goal for St Mary's. Boundary umpire once again got some work to do. Page Conway, kick on goal. Oh, it's got high tackle in there. It's a goal. Did you pick up that player, mate? A bit of pace is needed. Vallejo has the pace, kicks it inside cleverly, goes hard, very, very courageous, very, very hard. Vallejo gets it out beautifully, gets it to Lant, deserves a goal. Then Lant has been given the goal, but certainly that was Xavier Vallejo, his goal all over. From Paredes, ignores him, goes inside, prefers Calder. Can Calder take the mark? No, he can't. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Will kick off the ground. He just got enough to it, just got enough of it, and Thomas Dewsbury kicks his 2nd for the game. Onto the non-preferred left. Oh, he put him under his teammate under pressure there, but they're working hard. This time, Stroll in onto the left foot, goal. Wonderful, wonderful work there, Joel Garner. Jacob Long has not made a mistake. What's he going to do here? Kicks across the face of goal, and well, he didn't make a mistake. Gallus made the mistake. Goop kicks it off the ground and kicks a goal. Well, it was the mistake, not by Long, but certainly by Gallus. And Big Matty Gook kicks the goal. There's the paint of 50. Swings it around. Distance an issue. The defence, Young. Calder got the ball. Somehow Calder got the ball, and...
Welcome back. We're here for round 18 action of the 23-24 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. Nightcliff versus Waratah. I'm Nick Danks, my commentary partner sitting Stuart Davis. Stuart, your thoughts on a really difficult first half of footy?
Yeah, it's been a slog, hasn't it? And Waratah just doing enough. But yeah, we were just talking before we came back on about the percentage factor. I know there's a long way to go in the game, but they sort of have to maintain that around 160% percentage factor Waratah if they're to sneak into third spot, but how they achieve that, no, I'm not sure. Obviously, the lower scoring the game, the better opportunity there is for that, you would think.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, the difference with that is the elimination final or a qualifying final. So a second chance is what they're playing for, both these sides. Nightcliff have pretty much got that wrapped up now. The other results today, Tracy Village Wanderers defeated Tiwi Bombers by 12. Adelaide St Mary's defeated Darwin Buffaloes by 122. And just finished at DXC Arena, Pint defeated Palmerston by 51 points. This is the final half of home and away footy for the season, and it's underway.
So Kirby wins a hit out, but Philo at ground level gets a hand pass back and a quick kick forward, but chopped off by Dylan Collis across half back for Tars, as he often does, and he goes inboard to Clark. Clark off and running, and Tars finding some space early as O'Sullivan gets on the end of that one, kicks long towards the one-on-one in the goal square. Ball slips over the back. Here's a chance for Tars if they can get it through the hands. Hillis, underground hand pass, but trying to get it out wide there, but missed the waiting player in the forward pocket, and it's just gone over the boundary line. But an enterprising start for Tars. Move the ball quickly forward, and a bit of stoppage early in the right forward pocket. The boundary throwing comes in. Big Kirby just gets a hand to it, tries to direct it down to his teammate, but Nyhouse was first there, got the hand pass over to Scott. Scott long out of defence, and he finds his teammate Clark, who chips out wide, and Scott at ground level, just some foot skills there, gets himself a bit of space, kicks inboard. That's a good intercept mark taken, and Cassidy gets it over to Pulling, gets it down to half forward. O'Sullivan paddles it to himself out in front, now kicks long over the top, trying to get it to Munkara. It's punched away from in front by Norton for Nightcliff, and concedes the behind, and then quickly brings the ball back in with a chip kick out wide. You can see a player down in a bit of distress in front of us. I think that's
Zach Moody.
Yeah, Zach Moody, and he's really struggling to put any weight through that left foot or ankle by the looks of things. But anyway, the game's underway again, and Wines at ground level gets it out. Nyhouse gets it over the top. Quick kick comes out to Scott. Scott thought about kicking, then changed his mind. Hand passes inboard, and Philo on the fly kicks long around the outer wing, but it's too wide, and it's out of bounds on the full, and it's Spence who brings the ball back into play for Tars, hugging close to the boundary line on that other side again, as the ball is hacked out again by Philo, floating wide towards the boundary line. Tars players are saying that should have been out on the full. The Nightcliff players and umpires having nothing of that, just getting in position, and it'll be a throw-in.
They do like that side of the ground, and there's a couple of games I've seen here, and they've played over there, and I might remind a couple of boys there is two sides of this ground, because it's pretty been busy over there all night.
Yeah, of course the broadcast point is the near side of the ground, as is where most of the crowd gathers normally. So Kirby flicks that one over the top to Collis. Collis tried to give it by hand to Clark. He did cleverly to get it up, and the kick comes inside forward 50, loping out after it is Big Hut, but he couldn't get any control on it, and it's forced over the boundary line again. So just a goal of difference early in this third quarter. Nightcliff with the advantage, as boundary umpire waits for the rucks to get in place. And now the throw in. It's congestion down there. Magro got his hands on it, but got tackled straight away, and the ball spilled out as Rinaldi tries to get a toe poke out of the action. The hand pass comes over the top to Clark. Clark on the right boot, kicks towards goal, but it's high and wide and out of bounds on the full.
It's about the third or fourth one that's gone out of bounds on the full of that end of the ground. A couple at the other end as well. The breeze is pretty strong, but it's not that strong. The guys are just being rushed when they're aiming for goal.
Yeah. So Nightcliff take it away around the outer side of the ground. As ball just slips through the hands there, and at ground level it's picked up. And the kick from Westworth was just smothered. He paddles it forward again though, and now they're off and running as Carlin on the left chips it inside forward 50, but Hutt was caught behind and it's chopped off by Vile, who kicks it straight up in the middle of the ground. The mark spilt by Philo there, and then went without the ball, got tackled. Play on's the call as Tars turn it over inside forward 50, and Carlin takes another mark, this time inside 50, and he's indicating that he's going to have a shot for goal. And he might as well, because anything they try short just seems to get chopped off, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, 50 points a game is all the Tigers have let in this season. So currently 23, aiming to make this 29. So they're on their target, the Nightcliff defence.
Carlin kicks along towards goal, straight as a die. Goal umpire does not move, so it was the wise decision to go back and take the set shot, and so that means that Tars have kicked the opening goal of the third quarter. They kicked the only goal of the second quarter, so the running, if there is any, is with them at the moment.
12-point lead now, 2-5-17 to 4-5-29, coming up to 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Lost a bit of the crowd there on the right-hand side, on the other side of the ground. They haven't come back in from the club rooms yet, probably in there having a meal. Good restaurant here at the Oval.
Yep, we're pretty well serviced with sporting clubs and venues around Darwin as Kirby gets his hand to the ball. Philo at ground level gets a hand pass out the back, misses Nyhouse. Nyhouse runs back onto it now and picks it up, chips the ball inboard, looking for Grundy. He has it knocked away from behind, but illegally is the umpire's call, and Grundy will take that free kick. He's looking out wide for Norton here, or had some traffic coming towards him in Collis, but courageously stood and took the mark, and now he's directing traffic. He wants to go wider on the near side of the ground, but no mark taken there as the ball spills to the ground. Twycross got the hand pass inboard, but it's Nightcliff working it back out to Eilert. He tried to duck around his opponent, got caught with the ball, and Collis will take that free kick in the back pocket for Waratah. Collis chips across inboard and finds his teammate Gleeson. Gleeson goes out wide looking for Westworth, who runs onto it now. Tries to deliver back inboard. He does to Will Collis. Will Collis goes short looking for Magro. Magro gets it on the bounce now, swings, kicks long with the left foot towards goal. Oh, just hits that right hand goal post that time. One of the few occasions that Magro's found himself in a little bit of space, and just missed on the far side as he kicks. The kicking comes long and Cox takes a nice mark against Ryan, and just indicating to slow things down, but don't have to indicate that. It's happened a fair bit tonight as Cox goes long down the line. Butcher wrestles his way away from O'Dwyer and takes the mark. Philo trying to receive the ball, but he was standing right in front of him, but got it eventually, and then passes nicely to Eilert, who was also under pressure. Eilert now kicks long inside forward 50, off hands, the ball comes to Clark. He couldn't take the ball cleanly though, and that forces a pack to form with the ball underneath, and it'll be a ball up again.
Yeah, this kick to kick that we had in the first half hasn't changed in this one. I thought that they might go in at half time and start lowering the eyes and try and knock the ball around and play a bit of footy, but neither side's giving each other any room.
No. Carroll takes that one out of the air. Now pass comes inboard from right on the boundary line. Carlin gets tackled to the ground, and the ball spills out again.
The only side that have enjoyed this game tonight, Southern Districts, because they've been knocking around each other. We've seen a couple of injuries come off as well, so the Crocs will be quite happy that these two want to keep doing this tonight.
So the hit out over the top. Tars trying to run it forward. Brown comes in, gathers and avoids the contact. Hand passes back to Vile. Vile chips out wide and finds Scott. Adrian Scott now runs inboard and kicks long to the top of the goal square. Ball punched away at ground level. It's again, the ball's caught in underneath and there's stacks on, and it'll be a ball up once again as there's players just getting to know each other a bit with a bit of hug and wrestle, but it'll get sorted out pretty quickly. And umpire John Bement throws the ball up in the air. Up high was Wilkins, got the tap out as Kiranua clears from deep in defence for Tars to the outer side of the ground. No mark taken out there as the ball spills, and now it's Tars off and running. The ball goes long, inside forward 50. Peris is going to be first back there as it gets over the top of his head and Toby Hutt, but Peris under a bit of pressure hacks the kick off the ground close to the boundary line. Diving in there, the ball that spills to Nightcliff's advantage again as the kick comes in, but it's not well directed and O'Sullivan chops it off. He's got something he likes at half forward, but Collis just put under enough pressure, almost hooked it back rugby style then, but through the hands it's Nightcliff again to Scott, who's getting busy moving up from half forward. He hand passes out wide, and now Twycross tries to get a pass out wide, but all he could do was kick it along the ground, and it's chopped off and cleared away out of defence by Gleeson, and Tars working it around the outer side of the ground now as the ball at ground level comes back inboard, and O'Sullivan takes the mark. He's got some space and he's off and running, able to take a bounce here, and now kicks long towards the goal line, but he's just pulled that one to the left and through for a behind again. So Nightcliff, after 2 goals in the first quarter, really struggling to get any sort of shots on goal.
Yeah, they're just not getting that last ball into the 50 there. The ball's getting towards their 50 and then it's just getting cut off pretty easily, and just need to change a bit of a structure, you would think. A good thing for Nightcliff, they have held Waratah back as well, so they're still in this.
So the ball caught in underneath O'Sullivan, and he'll be penalised for not making enough effort to get it out. So Cox taking the free kick, has Philo on the lead, but Collis right on his tail, and Dylan Collis does enough in the marking contest to bring the ball to ground over the boundary line. From the throw in, Wilkins flicks it over the top. Ryan gets it out to Collis. Will Collis on the left boot, kicks high and wide. Munkara getting under it, couldn't take the mark. And now it's a foot race as Brown gets out there with him. Peris comes in to help, does well to pick the ball up, get it to Brown, and now Brown drills a pass around the outer side of the ground and finds Kennedy. Kennedy back inboard, and he's found Henderson in a bit of space. Henderson looking to switch back to Wines across half back, and not much go forward here as they've switched it right across the ground into the hands of Cox. Cox kicks the ball forward to Philo. Philo chips over the top, and he finds a teammate further afield there as Nightcliff looking to move the ball forward. Cooper Darms kicks long to the top of the goal square. The one-on-one contest just falls out of the hands of Butcher and gets rushed through for another behind to Nightcliff.
Yeah, since those first couple of early goals to St. Lippo, they just really haven't had any real shot on targets. The Tigers are not even an opportunity for it. They're holding it in the middle of the ground, but just not getting the opportunity when they go forward.
So Pulling takes the mark from the kick in. He goes wide to the outer side. nicely worked through the hands, but Brody Carroll just took his eyes off the ball and lost control of it, and that means he's put himself under pressure, but manages to get it over to Munkara. Munkara on the left goes long towards goal, but he's left it out wide, and it's gone out of bounds on the full again. So we've gone 14.5 minutes in this third quarter, and again just the one goal in the quarter so far as Nightcliff chip it across the back half. Eventually it comes out to Luke Wines, who takes the mark. He's got space but nothing to go to, and eventually Kennedy hits up and he finds him, and then Wines runs on again and Kennedy goes short back to him as James Waratah runs into man the mark. You can see that he's got no clear options forward, and eventually just has to bomb it long down the line, as both sides really have done most of the night. The punch from behind comes forward. Working back there was Darms, who did well to smother that hand pass from O'Dwyer and get it over the boundary line. And another throw in.
As we sit at the moment, Waratah are still in to third place. So they've got themselves in a qualifying final at the moment. 167.95 is their percentage. So they've picked up a couple, but 15 a bit minimum. We'll keep an eye on that though.
So the quick kick out of the pack. Tars going forward again. It's hooked over. Carlin just volleyballs it forward, hooks it over his head to the advantage of Magro. Magro paddles it out in front, tries to get past. He gets tackled, brought to ground. The ball spills loose. The decision here will be a Magro free kick. I think there was high contact in that tackle, and he'll go back and have a set shot for the first time tonight. And I'm sure that he won't be looking to pass off from here. He's well within range. We know that he is a thumping kick on that left foot.
Yeah, 62 goals for the season. This is only his about third or fourth position for the night though. He has got the goal that has got him the medal.
So Magro from the set shot, kicks long towards goal, and goal umpire makes a bit of ground, but I think he snuck that one in. He has, and he's celebrating with his teammates. So another goal to Waratah, and in the context of the game, they've kicked the last 4 goals. So Nightcliff with the early running, but Tars pretty impressive so far, the way that they've been able to just really put the clamps on Nightcliff. It's normally the other way round, and now Nightcliff with the work to do, trailing by 19 points.
They've lost a few games at home this season, Nightcliff. This is a stronghold for them, but they've just not they've had a couple pinched off them this year. As we sit though at the qualified final, will be a repeat of these two guys next week. Nightcliff and Waratah elimination with Pint and Southern Districts. If Waratah can hold on this percentage they've got at the moment.
Yeah, it's Southern Districts are the sitting ducks, aren't they? With the bye in the last round, nothing they can do about their position, and just relying on the outcome of this game. But Nightcliff through Sing Lippo, just trying to add a bit of dash through the middle of the ground, had a bounce but ran himself into trouble. Bounces one forward. Scott gets a hand pass out wide, misses the target, but here's a chance. Swinging round was Clark on the right boot for Nightcliff, but couldn't bring that one back, and it's through for behind again.
And of course St Mary's have finished as minor premiers, a big winner today, 122 points after a couple of big wins the last couple of weeks. So they'll be certainly could do with a rest, but it's very hard if they have a rest and then win and then they've got another rest. But St Mary's are through.
Yep, have the week off and get to watch everyone next week as Collis chips in short, but there's pressure on as the ball's flicked away. The kick comes in towards goal but bounces across the face and through for another behind. So just a little bit untidy, used to the ball out of defence, and now Dylan Collis runs out of the goal square and kicks along to the outer side this time and gets it out of the danger area. Off hands, the ball's batted over the boundary line and it'll be a throw in. Players have certainly worked hard. But the game hasn't risen to any great heights so far as the ball slips over the back. Clark just forces it out wide. Carroll's kick smothered. Kirby reaches in, fishes the hand pass out, and Tars move it forward, but good work across half back by Henderson, but sliding to his feet, got the hand pass forward, and now Nightcliff work it out wide. Peris spills the mark, but had enough time to pick up and swing the hand pass backwards. Two Tars players collide there and allow the ball to spill out at the back as Carlin gets the hand pass over to Carroll. Carroll round the outer side of the ground, but this one's chopped off by Nathan Brown, who goes short, and Nightcliff just controlling the ball in the back half as Cameron Eilert slows things down and then kicks long out wide. It's a pretty well directed kick, but he just couldn't get his hands on the ball, and it's forced over again.
Again, with only 2 goals scored the quarter, we're 18 minutes up at coming up to time on, and you wouldn't think this would go for more than about a couple of minutes.
Which would suit Waratah, you would think.
Yes.
Down to the ground, they'd be happy with that outcome. As the boundary throwing comes in, Kirby hooks it over the top, and at ground level, the hand pass comes out to Philo. Philo on the right boot, kicks long, inside forward, 50. Darms caught behind. Just all he could do was punch it away and get it over the boundary line, which would have suited the Waratah defence just as much. So we wait for the boundary throwing in front of the old scoreboard there where the timekeepers sit. As the throw comes in, ball slips over the back. Eilert first there, sweeped out the hand pass, but there's a long kick in towards the forward pocket there. The pack forms as the ball's punched away, and the ball swings out, but couldn't be taken cleanly. Darms gets thumped to the ground as his kick actually went backwards, and now at ground level, Twycross reaches in. He gets tackled with the ball underneath him, and it'll be a ball up again. So you can see the number of players around this pack as the siren goes to end the third quarter, and again, Nightcliff a goalless quarter, Nick.
Yeah, haven't scored since the first quarter, so we go into three-quarter time with Waratah with an 18-point lead. Back with you soon here at Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Welcome back. Round 18 action of the 23-24 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. Nightcliff Tigers taking on Waratah. Stuart, final quarter we're going into at the moment. Waratah sitting in third place, so they made themselves to qualifying final. But 2 goals by Nightcliff in this quarter can make a lot of difference.
Yeah, that's right. In a low-scoring game, when you're talking about trying to maintain percentage, it doesn't take much to turn it around. So, yeah, still plenty to play for Waratah. Of course, finishing third on the ladder is a big difference to finishing fourth on the ladder. So they'd be keen to pursue the advantage that they've got and stretch that lead if they could. But we know that Nightcliff are a quality side, but just really struggled to score tonight as the first break goes to the advantage of Scott for Nightcliff. He's really worked his way into the game in the second half. His kick forward goes to the advantage of Philo, who loops the hand pass over the top. Emery kicks long inside forward 50, but again they're hugging the boundary line on that outer side, and the ball's forced over. Just seem really reluctant to play through the corridor at all, and consequently we've seen plenty of this tonight, boundary throw-ins. Absolutely. You saw Ryan Ayres as well when they missed a shot from directly in front earlier on as well, that he knew what the percentages means as well. He threw his arms in the air, so he certainly would have had a chat to the boys there at three-quarter time and let them know how close this game is. So from the throw-in, Kirby in front, Butcher over the back, hooks it down to the ground. O'Dwyer gets a hand pass out, but again the ball wrapped up as Darms gets help to his feet, and umpire Noonan wastes no time throwing the ball up. Butcher thumps it forward, but well read and chopped off, and the kick comes out. It's looked like a high tackle, and that's the way it's been paid, and it's Mackenzie who'll take that free kick for Waratah. Looked more clumsy than anything else. Yeah, I don't think there was any malice in it. Kirby takes the mark, he chips back inboard, looking for Cassidy there, but again was off a couple of hands before it was dragged in, and a ball up once again. So Kirby wins the hit out, but no clear advantage as the ball comes out to Philo. He swings it onto the boot as he falls to the ground, and in defence Spence just happy to see the ball over the boundary line for another stoppage. So boundary throwing inside forward 50 here, but the rucks do battle as Cox reaching over the top, won the hit out. Moody gets the hand pass out to the advantage of Darms. Darms, a short kick, is picked up by Wines. He gets tackled to the ground, and again there's no clear advantage, and a free kick has been found here. He got him head high then in the second tackle, Camiola did. So, in fact, there's been a change of mind here. The free kick's going against Mackenzie and to Eilert. So somebody must have hit something off the ball, one of the umpires, because that was definitely, Eilert did get him high when he came in, and obviously something's happened off the ball. So yeah, we're all a bit confused, but Cameron Eilert has the ball in his hands. He's going back for the set shot, and it's been a long time between drinks with as far as goals are concerned for Nightcliff. His kick's on the way, and still no joy in that department, and through for another behind to Nightcliff. 2-9-21 to 5-7-37. I think I said last time was 11 points and something last time these two guys met, and they only got 5 goals each that night as well. So not much free-flowing footy between these two sides. Bit off the ball there behind. The umpire saw that as well. Spence out wide for Tars, kicks high and long down the outer side of the ground. Cox gets his hands to it and sweeps the hand pass out wide, and now kick inside forward 50 for Nightcliff. It's punched away from Sing Lippo and over the boundary line. And it'll be a throw in Nightcliff's forward 50. So
winding down to the end of the home and away season slowly at the moment, but
yeah, that's right. Maybe they'll recharge at first week of finals as ball just works its way out, but Nightcliff trying to get it back inboard. It slips through the hands of Moody there as Mackenzie puts the pressure on at ground level, tries to paddle it to the advantage of Collis, but he was his teammate got in his way. A crunching tackle there as the ball spills out, and now Carlin clears for Tars around the outer side of the ground. Running onto it down here was Munkara, and he got grabbed as he tried to force the ball forward. And so he'll retrieve the ball and go back over his mark. Anthony Munkara decides on the short option, has a leading player, and that's Hillis. But you'd think he's outside scoring range from here. Having a look around, you can see plenty of players in between him and the goal. He's got a player on the lead and honours that lead, and it's O'Sullivan. He got out in some space, and he takes the mark, and he should be within range, and we'll go back with a set shot for goal.
In all the chaos, he's been one of the better players tonight.
He certainly
He's
has.
had some nice touches there, certainly in those first quarter. In the first quarter.
Yep. Jack O'Sullivan with the set shot. Kicks on the way, looks pretty good. Goal umpire hasn't moved too much. He's got it over the line, and so it's Tars again scoring the first goal of the quarter, and Jack O'Sullivan gets rewarded for his performance with a goal on the board. So it's a pretty good use of the ball in the build-up from Munkara to Hillis, and then on to O'Sullivan, who converted nicely.
You said at the start of the game, Stuart, that Waratah would have to double the Tigers' score to hold that percentage. They've pretty much done that now.
Yeah.
So they've locked themselves at the moment, still with 14, 15 minutes to go into that qualifying final.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Shannon Rusker, the Southern District's coach, is watching this and willing Nightcliff to get a bit of a run on and get some goals on the board. Of course, Nightcliff beat his side last week by just 10 points at this venue. So from the ruck contest, the ball spills out. Cox tries to hack it off the ground. Tars using it through the hands. Collis gets tackled. The ball spills free. Cox hacks it off the ground, but rebounds, and the hand pass comes to Carroll, who clears away looking for O'Sullivan. Through the hands, it slips over the back. Henderson comes back, paddles it out wide. O'Sullivan first there, just forces it forward, but the ball had gone over the boundary line, and not sure what O'Sullivan was signalling for there, thinking it was out on the full, but it's a boundary throw in, and in Waratah attacking half. Kirby in front, just bats it forward, but it's well read by Wines, who gets the clearing kick away, bounces into the hands of Emery, gets past an opponent, and now kicks long inside 50. It's pretty open down here as the ball gets over the back. Sing Lippo running onto it. He's Nightcliff's only goal scorer tonight, but just couldn't control the ball and got worried out of it in the end. O'Dwyer kicks off the ground, eventually out wide, and Tars just chop off that forward attack momentarily as they're under pressure as Pulling gets a kick out wide, but only bounces into the hands of Scott. He goes by hand back to Moody, who goes underground back to Scott, back to Moody. So here's a build-up for Nightcliff as Moody runs inside forward 50, kicks towards goal. And just not sure what's happening. I think there might be a whistle on the play. Umpire Noonan's pointing down the ground, but I think that shot at goal might have missed. And so either the ball will come back or it'll be a downfield free kick. Just trying to sort it out. And I think it's going to come back up. It's a Nightcliff free kick, but it'll go back to where the infringement was. So Zach Moody with the free kick.
struggle from this spot today. They've not, either side have not scored from here.
This kick floats across the face of goal, but still in play as the ball at ground level. And Tars with the numbers happy to concede the rush behind under a bit of pressure. And so it's just walked over, and O'Dwyer will bring the ball back into play. Runs out of the goal square and goes long round the outer side. Again, very close to the boundary, and it's bounced over again, but over the fence as the ball's retrieved. And it's a throw in. So 10 minutes gone this quarter. Just the one goal scored. That goal from Jack O'Sullivan a few minutes ago. And Nightcliff really not doing anything to make inroads on this lead that Waratah have as they get their hands on it at ground level. Just a dribble kick forward, but it's chopped off by Wines, only as far as Pulling, who gets a quick kick forward for Tars to half forward. Nyhouse gets his hands on this one, fishes it out to Brown. Brown goes wide on the bounce in front of Butcher. Butcher couldn't keep it in play, and it'll be another boundary throw in.
If you told me at the start of the day that Nightcliff would be on 2:10 coming into the 11-minute mark of the final quarter, I would have thought it'd been a rainstorm. He would have had to be chucking it down or something. They've more a free-flowing side than this normally the Tigers.
So Butcher wins the hit out, and Eilert gets the clearing kick inside forward 50, punched away from behind by O'Dwyer, Pulling at ground level. Hand passes on the up, just tried to bat it forward, but Wines got on the end of it on the left foot. Inside 50, the ball bouncing. Keranua back there under some pressure. Gets it out to Gleeson, who gets a hand pass forward into space. Carlin runs onto it, hand passes back again. And Tars have worked it away nicely laterally in the back half as the kick finds Ryan Clark here. He goes up the middle of the ground to Pulling wheels around on the right boot. He's got Brodie Carroll in some space out at half forward. Carroll takes the mark and then props as he's looking for someone to lead for him. Hasn't got too much, so kicks high to the top of the goal square instead. Ball forced to ground from behind, swinging around as Hillis at ground level, and he's hooked it over his shoulder, and that's another Waratah goal. And I was going to say they're marching away, they're probably strolling away, but
multiple goal scorer now though, Hillis. He got one earlier on in the game as well. So 2:10 at 22 to 7-7 49. Enough, you would think, to put them through to the qualifying final and meet Nightcliff again next week.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, that game would be played on TIO Stadium, which is a bit bigger ground, a bit more open. You would hope that they get it out and get the ball moving a bit better than they've been able to tonight, or than they've been willing to tonight on a lot of occasions. So, yeah, Tars back on the winners list last week, and then carrying that forward tonight. So Ryan Ayres will be pretty happy with that sort of form going into the finals next week, as umpire Bement throws it up. The hit out is well read at ground level by Philo, but he was under pressure with the kick and chopped off across half back, and now a kick straight out towards the boundary line. Getting there was Pulling, hand passed out to his own advantage, but it must be slippery down there. They're just struggling. Magro gets a hand pass, but that's chopped off. Brown gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy hand passes over the top, but that was well read by the big fella Jordan Wilkins to chop it off and force it over the boundary line for a stoppage.
They haven't used that much side of the ground very much today, so it's probably a bit slippery over the side, but
so from the throw in, Wilkins in front. It's thumped from behind as Westworth runs onto it, chips it over, and puts his teammate Gleeson under a bit of pressure, but they recovered well enough as the ball gets out to O'Dwyer. He kicks out to the advantage of O'Sullivan, but Nyhouse got him out of the way. Oh, a strong clash there between Nyhouse and O'Sullivan. Both looked like they went to ground as Play goes on upfield. Ball out in front of Brodie Carroll now. He runs on now, running inside 50. Tries to deliver a pass in, but is forced to ground as it's paddled out to Tar's advantage again. It comes back to Carroll on the left boot. He kicks towards goal. They're celebrating, and it's through for another Waratah goal. It was a pretty scrappy build-up, but a good finish in the end by Brodie Carroll. So a really important performance from Waratah, as we've said several times tonight. And they're just powering on here. They've scored, been the only goal scorers since quarter time, and Nightcliff have been, got to say, they've really been disappointing tonight, Nick.
Absolutely. A couple of the queue in the rack at the moment. Just a couple off the ball. I've watched it a few minutes ago, and you just think they know that the result is pretty secured, and they'll be meeting these guys again next week. And with, you would say, 6 or 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's right. So they just haven't looked like getting anything going as far as around the goals. But from the hit out at ground level, ball forced forward by Mackenzie, picks it up eventually and hand passes into some space inboard. Nightcliff at ground level just trying to get their hands on it and work it forward. It's knocked out of the hands of Darms, and Tars with the hand pass forward, but again no clean possession as it spills out to Clark now. Clark on the right boot, kicks long towards goal. It's going right to the goal line, but no mark taken. The ball in fact bounces across the face of goal. Brown picks it up and then switches back to the outer side, and Nightcliff get it away from the danger area as you see that Waratah bench urging their players to get back and defend as Nightcliff work the ball forward round the outer side of the ground, but Tars have got numbers back, and Collis to Collis, and the kick comes out wide as the ball spills into space, but Norton's there for Nightcliff, and he chips a pass inboard and finds Cameron Eilert in some space, which really hasn't happened much at all tonight, but Eilert will go back and have a set shot. He'll be directly in front, and surely this is the chance for Nightcliff to get that elusive goal on the board. Eilert's kick, goal umpire makes a bit of ground, and you could see that one just hit that right-hand goal post, so just can't buy a goal at the moment, Nightcliff.
No, they can't, can they? That's I've seen a couple of games this season, and even last season, where Tigers had horrible kicking results at the end of the day, and in some of them they managed to hold on and win, but today they've had 2 goals in the first quarter, and since then it's been pretty lean from them, and even the opportunities haven't been great.
No, that's right. Tars have worked hard defensively and done well, and played the game that suited them in the end as the long kick comes out wide, and Wines just punches that one over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in again. Cox and Kirby to do battle in the ruck. Kirby just holds Cox out, wins a hit out down, forced forward by Munkara, only as far as Rinaldi, who got the hand pass back, and a high kick bounces, but just punched straight over the boundary line, that time by Gleeson, and it'll be a throw in once again. So this game, the last game of the home and away series in the 23-24 TIO NTFL season, is looks like it's going to be a victory to Tars as that long kick comes in. It's gone over the head, everyone, and bounced through. I'm just waiting on what the decision is here. I think it's going to be a goal, but I couldn't tell you who kicked it, Nick.
No, I'll work it out in a second. The Probably because I wasn't expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
I wasn't really playing. It was just, it's been one of those nights tonight that I didn't expect Nightcliff to get a goal from there, and they certainly have.
It really was a goal out of nothing, wasn't it? Just a long kick in hope, and got over the back of the pack and bounced through. So, yes, a Nightcliff goal. And I guess as we approach the time on, if they kicked another goal, it would make that percentage race
I have to redo some maths. Even the official timekeepers haven't picked up who's kicked that goal at the moment, so we'll give them a minute to get that one as well.
So from the ball up, it's Nightcliff first, hands on the ball again. The quick kick goes forward. It's bouncing towards half forward as Emery gets his hands on the ball, but he's wrapped up straight away from behind. And it'll be a ball up at centre half forward. Straight up, Kirby's there. Gets the thump out wide. Darms taps it to the advantage of his teammate Wines, who kicks high on the left boot. It's into the forward pocket. The hand pass comes over the top. Sing Lippo, the ball slipped out of his hands before he could get a boot to the ball, and it's rushed through for a behind. So some sighs of relief on the Waratah bench as it's Collis to bring the ball back into play, and happy to just chip short to O'Dwyer deep in the pocket. He's got another short option here, and it's O'Sullivan who's pushed back.
The official timekeepers have given that goal to the team. So I feel a bit better waiting picking up either, because they got no idea.
Sullivan, a big leap from behind by pulling, but couldn't take the mark. The hand pass just missed the target, and now sliding in at ground level. The ball's caught in underneath as the players spread for another ball up close to the boundary line. So 21 and a half minutes coming up as the ball ricochets into the hands of Moody. He gets tackled and the ball spills out, and now it's Tars off and running as McKenzie chips the ball forward, and the mark taken by Hutt. Hutt's got players running forward of him, gets it over the top. Carroll running onto it now, controls it in the goal square and just walks in. Another Waratah goal, so they get one in response, and Brodie Carroll gets his second in this last quarter.
He's went missing there for a little bit in the middle of the game, Brodie. I don't think the way the game was being played didn't suit him, but it certainly opened up in the last quarter. He's had a couple of good touches and then probably deserved those 2 goals as well.
Yeah, that's right. He's set up a fair bit with the ball going in as well, and just got himself on the end of a couple, and Tars respond to the Nightcliff goal and get that margin back out to 31 points as we go past 22 minutes in this final quarter. So it's the highest scoring quarter of the game. 5 goals have been scored, so maybe we've got another minute or 2 to play.
So there's the double of the score, 31-point lead now. We're up to Waratah. Just have a couple of minutes left to play. Just doing a bit of a head count.
And the ball goes up. Kirby gets it down, just hacked off the ground by Cassidy, but it's Nightcliff from behind who clear it and get it forward. Picked up out there by Moody, who kicks long in towards goal. But the mark this time chopped off by Collis in defence. And Dylan Collis will just slow things down again in the back half. Chips out wide. And Gleeson's called to play on. Oh, that's not his best kick as the ball bounces into the hands. But it's a Waratah free kick out there. And Lockie Cassidy, you can see that he's in no hurry whatsoever to get rid of this ball. And he'll be called to play on now. And he does so, just kicking long, close to the boundary line on the outer side. Off hands, the ball spills at ground level. And another wrap-up tackle sees the ball taken to the ground. And the ball up once again. Wines hands it back to the umpire as another hit out and pulling at ground level. Breaks away and kicks long inside forward 50. The ball spills out the back as a chance for Tars once again. But Nightcliff defenders get back and force it over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in. 24 minutes gone, final quarter. This game in the death throes as we wait for the Rucks to get in position.
Perfect timing.
So from the throw in.
Thank fucking God.
It's pressure on again as no one can break clear.
Probably run Doom. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on? It'll run Doom. No doubt.
And another boundary throw in front of the scoreboard, which shows the clock ticking towards 25 minutes in this final quarter. Kirby bats it straight down in front. Hillis caught with the ball underneath him. It squirts out now as Cox reaches in. Hand passes forward, but it comes bouncing straight back. Hand pass out into some space. Scott overran that one. Carroll at ground level gets the hand pass over the top as the siren goes to end the game, which saw Waratah get the result that they needed, Nick.
Yeah, 31-point win to Waratah, the result they actually needed. Double the score, holds their percentage. They're through. So Nightcliff, 3-12-30 to 9-7-61. Some junk time goals there by Waratah, but they needed them. The most difficult thing you to do all night is your best stock crowds. It's been a hard game to do that too.
Yeah, it certainly has. Waratah probably had the better players on the night. We talked about Jack O'Sullivan, particularly early, was pretty good, and I think Scotty Carlin had a fair bit of the ball as he usually does. Ryan Clark also. Tom Spencer's game in defence was pretty good. I like the work that Jordan Wilkins did in the ruck, as well as Arnold Kirby, and Lockie Cassidy always gets plenty of the ball as well. For Nightcliff it was probably a bit harder. Cooper Darms gets plenty of it. Dylan Clark was pretty good as well. Zach Moody had a fair bit of it, as did Cameron Eilert. Sing Lippo kicked those couple of goals, of course, and I thought Adrian Scott worked into it a bit in the second half. But yeah, not one to remember for Nightcliff, and I think that Coach Lee Crossman will be going back and just trying to rethink their approach as they go into the qualifying final next week.
Yeah, I'm expecting the qualifying final to be a completely different game. This one, it's at TIO, as you said, a bigger ground. Goal scorers won't take it long for the Tigers. There's 2 for Singlippo, and we don't know if that's the other one. But we'll work that out in the paper on Monday. And for the goal scorers, Stu, for Waratah.
Magro got 2, which was enough to win him the Dennis Dunn medal. Hillis got a couple. Brody Carroll got a couple in the last quarter, and singles to Carlin and O'Sullivan.
So there it is. The first week of the finals will be qualifying final Nightcliff versus Waratah. Elimination final Pint in their second season will take on Southern Districts, and the minor premier St Mary's will have the week off. It's been a pleasure to host this evening. My name is Nick Danks. I was joined by Stuart Davis. We'll see you again next week for finals footy. Good night, Stu.
Yep, good night.
Oh, are you at home? Oh, sorry, Bob.